your paper up. So next we will be calling Wanikka Vance. She's talking about prospering from the inside out. Give it up for Wanikka, y'all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Look, I got my notes, okay? I got my notes. Today I wanted to speak with you on prospering from the inside out, becoming your authentic six-figure self. And so as I was in prayer and I was meditating, the Lord just gave me some words. So I want to start with those words and then we'll go from there. He gave me two scriptures that's very familiar. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And then 3 John 1:2. Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. Because, see, sometimes we look at prosperity as only money. We think that that's all that God has for us, and it's the prosperity in our riches. But he says his prosperity is in your soul. It's your heart. It's your body. It's your mind. It's your spirit. Sometimes we get confused because we feel like, well, I went through this. I've had traumatic experiences growing up. And we don't realize that if we're prospering from the inside out and our souls are prospering, we got to let go of that traumatic experience. Okay, so I'm going to go from the words that God gave me. I always say that me and my family, that we're building legacies of excellence. And I didn't really know what I was saying. I was always saying we're building legacies of excellence. One of my businesses is called Foundations for Advancement. And when I came up with that name, it was because I wanted to give children a strong foundation where they can advance throughout their lives. But then the Lord came to me and he said, I want you to become a family legacy educator. I said, Lord, what is that? I don't even know what a family legacy educator is. He says, you will educate families by providing them with resources and making sure that they have everything they need to take their families to the next level. So when he said legacies of excellence, he says excellence equals holiness. So you're teaching people how to build legacies of holiness. A legacy is something that goes from generation to generation. He says you come from a legacy of praying strong women. And sometimes we forget those grandmother's prayers. We forget our mother's prayers. But he wanted me to let you know that you come from a legacy of strong women, strong praying women. Then he gave me Foundations for Advancement. He said it's the holy foundation that allows people to advance in every area of their lives. To me, it was just an education thing. I was just giving it to the kids. But he said, no, it's for families, they can advance in every area of their lives. And then he said, women, all of us women, he said, you are the carrier of destiny, the birthing channel to all things. Okay? We are the carriers of destiny. What is destiny? The set destination of your arrival to a particular place. That's who we are as women. We are the carriers of destiny, the birthing channels to all things. And then he said, you are a seed, a legacy holder. That's why it's important to be planted in the right soil. He said, that will nourish you to bring forth heirs of righteousness. So I said, Lord, what is soil? You know, I know what the natural soil is, but what soil are you talking about? He said, your soil are your relationships. It's those people who pour into you, those people who are surround you. We forget that those relationships, those soils, he said they are just as important as the seed. And we as women, we are the seed. We are the seed. The strength is inside of us already. It's our DNA. And then he told me that the soil is just as important as the seed, because sometimes we surround ourselves with negativity. We surround ourselves with people who are just speaking all kinds of things to us, and we don't even notice what they're speaking is growing into us. It becomes a part of our DNA. Then he told me mental distractions can cause a shipwreck. and cancel destiny's plans. Okay? The mental distractions, what are those? Those are those traumatic experiences. Those are those when people are talking about you and they're putting you down. Those mental distractions will cause you to shipwreck your destiny's plans. That means you won't make it to that particular place because you're going to cause a shipwreck in your life. And a lot of times we don't even realize how these mental distractions are affecting us because we're so used to living that life just going about our normal days, and we don't realize that these things that we have learned to deal with, learned to live with, are mental distractions. All right, let me see. He told me something else about mental distractions. He said mental distractions come to cause you to abort your vision. It causes us to abort our vision. So not only does the mental distraction cause us to abort the vision, it causes a shipwreck. Okay, if you think about the Titanic, they had everything that they thought they needed. But when that ship wrecked, everything was totally destroyed. Aligned to each and every last one of us is our legacy, is our destiny. And if we as women, if we allow the mental distractions that surround us daily to cause us to have a shipwreck or causes us to abort our vision, what happens to our children? What happens to the generations? What happened to the legacy that we came to build, that we came to leave? He says, guard your heart and your mind, for they are the birthing grounds to all things. If we don't guard our hearts, if we allow bitterness and unforgiveness and envy and strife to live there in our hearts, we can't birth what God has put into us to birth. If we don't guard our minds, just because somebody says something doesn't mean we got to pick it up and believe it. So he asks us to guard our hearts, guard our minds, because we're going to birth some things. That's where everything is birthed, in our hearts and in our minds. Legacies carry out the plans for generation. The strength was already inside the seed. And remember, you are the seed. The strength was already inside of you because it was already inside your DNA. He says, you are the seed, heirs. What are our heirs? When we think of heirs, we just think of our children. He says our heirs are our kids, our businesses. Everything that's attached to us becomes an heir for us. Those businesses, you're not just developing businesses. You shouldn't be. You shouldn't just put your name on it because it becomes your heir. When you leave, what are you leaving? People are going to remember your business. They remember the integrity you walked in. They remember how you made them feel. It's just like your children. We tell our kids, don't go out there. Remember, I tell my son every time he leaves, remember who you are. I don't care what everybody else is doing. Remember who you are. Remember what I instilled in you. And that's the same thing with our businesses. If we don't remember who we are, we can't pour into our businesses. And then sometimes we just hire anybody. If they don't align to your destiny, they don't align to your vision, you shouldn't allow them to be there. Because people are not going to just remember that worker, but your name is aligned to that. That's your heir. He says, keep pouring and watering other things. See, what we fail to realize when we're talking to women, we're talking to people, we're pouring into them. We're pouring and we're watering them. A part of us goes into them. He says, for your DNA will become part of their family legacy. Listen to that. Every time I talk to a woman, I impart into her, I pour into her, I'm watering her. But not only am I watering her, part of who I am goes into her, and it becomes some of her DNA. So she takes a part of who I am, and it becomes a part of her, and it helps her to grow her seed. But see, that's why it's important that we guard our hearts and our minds, because sometimes we let the wrong people pour into us. If you have a woman who's walking in the spirit of witchcraft and you don't know it, and she starts speaking into your life and she's pouring into your life, her DNA becomes a part of your DNA. Now you're passing it down for generations to come. See, we have to remember to guide our heart, guard our hearts, and guard our minds. Don't let everybody become a part of your soil. Don't ever let everybody pour into you. Because what you're passing on as you grow and develop to your children and your children's children is going to carry on for a lifetime. All right, so listen, we got past that, but that was the word that the Lord gave me. So now we move on to our natural person, because in the natural, we all want to be six-figure women. We want to be 7, 8-figure women. And we just think, well, I'll just work for it. I'll work for it. But I want to tell you a little of my testimony. During the pandemic, the Lord gave me the word prosperity. He said, I will be your provider. I'll be everything that you need. If you need it, I'll be it. And I took that word and I ran with it. I was sitting on Facebook and someone posted about starting a business. You know, some people are like, I don't want to start a business. I love starting businesses. I want to start them. I want to pour into people. I want to make sure that I can give what I can give. So I said, well, hey. She said, you can start it for $38. I said, $38? Oh, yeah. What is it to lose? Okay, because one of my sayings, my mother laughs because I say, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. And every time I say it, she wants to laugh. So I said, well, let me get started with this business. Started talking to my friends and family. I told them about it. $38, okay? The Lord started breathing on it. I knew it was God because it was nothing that I can do with my natural being. We were in a pandemic. We were stuck in the house. God started breathing on it. And he took that same $38 and he turned it into 6 figures within 6 months. I had never made 6 figures, so I didn't know what it felt like. But it was a blessing because not only did it bless me, I was able to pay off my house that I only lived in 2 years. I was able to buy a car brand new. I was able to pay off my sister's car, my aunt's car, give my parents allowance, give my mother-in-law allowance. So the Lord was able to bless me so that I could be a blessing for others. As he gets ready to shift us, because we're in a shift. You know, when things get hard, when it feels like everything is not working out, you go from being at the top to you're being at the bottom. You don't know if you're coming or going. God says that's because I'm about to shift you, but I have to make sure that your mind is right, that your actions is right, that your motives are right. Because see, some of us, if he takes us from $38 to 6 figures, we're not going to pay our tithes. We're going to think that we've arrived. He said, you are still on the introduction of your book. I'm trying to get you at least to chapter 1, but you think you've made it already. I give you a little bit and you forget where you came from. And so I want to encourage you as God elevates you and shifts you and takes you to the next level. Don't forget where you came from. I always remind God, I'm a tither. God, I sow seeds. God, I plant, and I expect a harvest. I expect not just a harvest. I need an orchard of harvests. I want them to surround me like a shield. But sometimes we forget. So as you are about to shift, because we're about to shift, the atmosphere is shifting. As we begin to shift, don't forget God. Give him his 10%. Sow your seeds. Remember, you are the seed. Sow your seeds. And he said, I, God, will give you the increase. I will take you to the next level. I will ensure that you prosper from the inside out. Why do we have to prosper in our inside? Because our mental capacity has to be right. Our heart has to be right, because if our heart is not right, those people who wronged us, we're going to show them. I'm going to show you. You did me wrong when I didn't have. Now that I have, I'll make sure I show you. But he says, I don't want you to be like that. He said, because guess what? I will repay. I'll repay. I got you. They did you wrong. Don't worry about it, because you have a better testimony when I take you from where they thought they put you and I lift you up. In the middle of a pandemic, when he took $38 and he turned it to 6 figures, all the people that I was able to bless, that was a lift up. And so God says, prepare for your shift. But as you prepare, get your heart right. Get your mind right. Make sure this body is our temple. And what we forget, sometimes we don't want to take care of our bodies. We want to be reactive. That means I'm going to wait till I go to the doctor. They give me a bad report. Then I'm going to say, hey, how can I fix it? He said, be proactive. Get your house in order. Guess what? And that's not just the mental and the heart, but I need you to take care of this body. I need you to do what you have to do. If you have toxins in your body, get them out of your body. What a lot of people don't understand is mental illnesses, they cause, traumatic experiences, childhood trauma, they cause chronic illnesses. And see, we don't align those to each other. We say, hey, well, I don't know where this came from. When your mama used to yell at you, put you down, when your daddy did this, or this person did that, and you never let it go, and you harbored that unforgiveness, and you held on to it because you was big and bad enough to do it. Those traumatic experiences, those things you never let go, they cause your bodies to start decaying on the inside. They cause those traumatic, that cancer. They cause high blood pressure. They cause diabetes. So I'm encouraging you, not only let go of it mentally and emotionally, but start getting your body in order. Do what you have to do to make sure your temple is strong. Because what does it profit a man if God gives you the whole world and you lose your soul? What does it profit if you become a millionaire and you die 2 weeks later? What does it profit you if you work hard and you start the businesses and you do all of this, but you die and you can't even enjoy it? When you see something wrong, check it out. Don't wait until they just say, there's nothing else we can do for you. You come to the end of your rope and you have to let it go. So I'm encouraging you. Take some time for you. Take some time for self-care, mental health. Make sure that you do what you have to do to clear up everything that's hurting, because it hurts all of us. We don't want to let go of the pain that the people did. Mama did it. Daddy did it. Guess what? It's okay to go to therapy. It's okay to let it go, because guess what? My mom always tells me, is being mad at this person, being angry, is it worth everything God has for you? All right, do you want to stay on chapter 1 all your life? You say, God, you wrote my book of destiny. He said, you don't even know your book of destiny because you can't get past the hurt. You can't get past the unforgiveness. I can't even show you the end. You got a couple dollars, you got a little 6 figures, you thought you made it. He said, that's nothing compared to what I have for you. That's nothing compared to where I'm trying to take you. And so as I just want you to take some time for self-care. Take some time to evaluate yourself, your heart, your mind. Because see, now we're going to go into this 6-figure woman. See, the 6-figure woman, she has her heart is clean. Her mind is clean. You know why? Because she has to be able to know how to properly start businesses. She has to be able to properly put things in order. You know, when you're mad and you're angry, you're frustrated, you don't want to be bothered with anybody. So how can you sit at a business meeting? You can't. You don't want to be bothered with people. And then if you have childhood trauma, somebody's going to remind you of something that happened in your childhood. So when you're sitting in the meeting, you're mad because he reminded you of your daddy who left. Now you just missed an opportunity. See, that 6-figure woman, she has to be ready for opportunities. She has to be ready to jump on it, because God is not always going to say, hey, this is it right here. See, every time the Lord promised me, he said, I'm going to sit you at the table with the people who are going to fund your ideas. So every time I go in a room, every time I meet somebody, I'm going to tell you my story. I'm going to talk to you, because I don't know if you might be the one. You might just be the one. If you're not the one, you might know who the one is. So I'm not going to walk in there with the wrong attitude, because you never know. A 6-figure woman, she has a winning morning routine. What's your morning routine like? Do you just jump out of bed, put on your clothes, and you ready to go? Or do you meditate day and night? Do you pray? What do you do? See, in order to be a 6-figure woman, you got to start your day off right. Because if you don't start your day off right, the rest of your day is going to be off track. She believes in personal development and is ongoing. It's lifelong. She's a lifelong learner. She does not think she knows everything. She keeps her options open. She's always open to teaching, to learning, to getting new ideas, new concepts. Just because I did it this way for 25 years doesn't mean I can't switch it up now. So she's always open to learning new things. She's a lifelong learner. She has a great relationship with money. She pays her tithes. She sows seeds. She has a savings. Listen, she knows how to invest. How many of you have even heard of a private reserve account? See, she knows how to invest. She goes and finds new things. Everybody tells us get a life insurance policy. But after 30 years, 20 years, if you ain't dead, your life insurance is gone, or you're going to pay so much for it. So she knows how to get a private reserve account, which means she ties her investments inside of her insurance. And when she ties it, after so many years, she never has to pay into it anymore, but her family can live off of it. And now she becomes her own bank account. All right? She does head work as well as heart work. That's healing that heart, healing that mind, healing that head. She has a clear, defined vision. Where are you going? What do you want to do? Do you just want to get everything? A new idea comes, so you run over there. This new business opportunity, so you run over there. Does it align to your vision? Everything that you're doing should be aligned to one common vision. What is your vision? See, my vision is to help families have resources and access. So if I need to let them have resources and access, I need to make sure every business I open provides them with that. Everything that I align myself provides them with that. I have an early childhood academy. When I first started it, I took everybody. I wanted all the kids. I don't care. You were 3 years old. We went up to 6th grade. I would take you. And God said, I told you foundation for advancement. I didn't tell you everybody advance. I said, you give them the foundation and I'll advance them. Now, I don't care who you are. If your child is not 2.5 and potty trained to 5 years old, I can't work with you. I can't tutor you. I can't teach you. Why? Because I'm staying in my vision that God has given me. And with me staying there, he has allowed me now. I used to open 5 days a week from 8 in the morning to 6 at night. He has allowed me now. I open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. I tutor if I feel like it. But if I tutor your child, I need you and your child to align to the vision that God gave me. Everybody is not your customer. Everybody is not for your destiny. Everybody is not for you. All money is not good money. If you take what God gave you, that little bit, and you do what he told you to it, he'll blow on it, and he'll make it great for you. We chase money. We see this, and we want it, so we go after it. He said, it's not going to last because I didn't give it to you. That's not what I had in store for you. So we want to make sure that we know our vision. As six-figure women, write the vision. Make it plain so that your great-grandchildren, if they saw the vision, they could run with it. Anybody who sees your vision should be able to run with it. I told my children yesterday, I'm all about legacies. So I went back to my alma mater, and I started a scholarship fund. And so my children were in the car, and they said, well, Mama, I want to do this. I said, listen, we have greater than buying some Jordans. We have greater than traveling the world. See, we're now with a scholarship fund that will last, outlive all of us. Your grandchildren will know about it. I said we will reach thousands of people. Just think about all the seeds that we're sowing. Every year we're going to give scholarships on a university level to people that need it. I said, and we will always have that seed we're pouring into them. So you want to make sure your vision is aligned, and then teach it to your children and your children's children so that it doesn't die when you die. If the vision only lasts as long as you're healthy, it's not really a vision, is it? It's just a little something you do on the side. You know, they always call everything a side gig. That's what it is if it can't outlive you. So please make sure a six-figure woman, she makes sure that her vision, she knows the vision is plain, and then it's plain enough that my mom always said, not even a fool could error. It's so plain that lay it out so somebody else, what if you get sick? Does your business stop then? Nobody else can run your business for you. Nobody else can push it on. A six-figure woman knows that knows that she doesn't compete with anyone but herself. We're not competition. I've had so many people, you would ask them, well, how did you do this? Well, you need to go and figure it out like I did. Why? Why do you have to go and work hard if I have the resources in me? Why can't I share what I went through? I've already went through it. But see, we get caught up because we think we're competition. I can't tell her because she might steal my customers. I can't tell her because they might like her better. No, your only competition is yourself. When people come to my school, I say, oh, it looks like you want a daycare. You should go across the street because we don't do daycare here. We educate here. But I send people. I don't mind. I have another person. I let them use a room inside my school, and they do the same thing I do. You're not my competition. What God has for me, they're for me. The people God has for me, they're for me. We have to understand we're not competing against one another. We're here to uplift. We're here to help you. Guess what? If I can reach 100 people, but we all get together and we all can reach 100 people, we can change the world. A six-figure woman, she's confident in her skin and in her skills, her own gifts. She's confident in her gifts. See, sometimes we think, well, God, my gift isn't big enough. He said, how do you know? You don't even use it. But a six-figure woman, she's confident in her gifts. It may be small, it may seem small, but when God, when he puts his super on your natural, your gift is amazing. But see, you're too busy trying to hide it because she's doing well and she does it. And you're comparing yourself. If you stop comparing yourself to the next woman, then your gift would look amazing to you. All you have to do is believe in what God put in you and who you are. And there, God will breathe on your situation. I take God's super any day. When he breathes on your situation, it elevates you and it takes you to the next level. Where you were just a normal saleswoman, now you become saleswoman of the year. Whatever you're doing, you have to first believe in yourself. And then, see, because when we walk in confidence, people notice. They can tell. When you walk in the room, you know the women who are real confident about themselves. But see, if you're not confident in your own skills, you shy back. You don't want to speak up. When I was in college, I didn't like public speaking. I almost flunked public speaking because I felt like I wasn't enough. I felt like I can't talk in front of all these people. What if I don't know? See, I went to school in Crete, Illinois. But when I went to school, I went to Ole Miss. And when I got there, I didn't think I had all the skills because guess what? Truth be told, a lot of these schools are not giving our kids the skills they need. So when they get to the school, you feel intimidated. You don't feel like you have enough skills. So I felt like that. But the Lord said, oh, I brought you here and I'm going to keep you here. And I'm going to give you everything that you need so that you can be successful. But we first have to believe in ourselves and take the word of God and run with it. A six-figure woman, she doesn't make excuses. She doesn't make excuses. She finds the resources. She makes a way. She gets it done no matter what. She does not make excuses. If it's supposed to be done, she's going to get it done. And she's going to get it done in a spirit of excellence, in a spirit of integrity. She is intense in her focus. She's laser focused. Nothing can detour her. Nothing can get her off her grind. Nothing can stop her. See, when you want something as bad as you want to drink, as bad as you want to breathe, when you want to be that successful, you're going to do whatever it takes. If they tell you, hey, if this business idea you got don't come to pass, you're going to die. You're going to work that business like never before. When you want to be successful, and that's all you want, and you're going to give it your all, that's when you're going to be successful. See, some of us, we drag our feet. Yeah, it sounds good to say I'm a CEO. I don't do no CEO kind of stuff. I don't want to do no CEO kind of stuff. That's why half the people don't have their business paperwork in line. Why? Because I just want to be a business owner. I don't want to do the hard stuff. You said I got to get incorporated? Incorporated? Who does that? You said I got to actually make sure that this business name isn't taken by anybody else? I need some articles of incorporation. I need to get a board of directors. People just want to start a business. See, but when you want to go to the next level and you want to be great, you're going to make sure all your T's are crossed, all your I's are dotted, because guess what? From there, that's how you get to the next level. And she embraces next level thinking. You must be a leader. When you're a six-figure woman, people are just going to be attracted to you just because of who you are. For the money you make. You can be the worst leader ever. But if you make a little money, people going to listen. But see, if you're a godly six-figure woman, you're going to make sure that you're doing it the right way. You're going to make sure that you're a godly leader. You're going to make sure that you're walking in integrity. You're going to make sure that when people say your name, they have nothing but good things to say. Guess what? Somebody's going to say something negative, but just because they say it, don't let it be true. You want to walk in integrity. You want to do what you have to do because your six-figure self should show up every day. What I have also, I have some forms for you where you can just brainstorm. As a six-figure woman, what do you eat? What time do you go to bed? What time do you wake up? What do you do when you wake up? How is your house decorated? Where do you buy your decorations? See, when you become your six-figure self, you got to know in order to get to that six-figure self, you got to fake it till you make it. Speak those things that's not as though they were. Write out your six-figure self. See yourself as a six-figure woman. And then write out the vision. Don't wait. Don't see, some of us want to wait until the money comes and then we want to step into our six-figure self. If you say, hey, if I was six-figure, I would have somebody come and clean my house. Then guess what? Get yourself together and start doing it now. You say, hey, if I was six-figure, I would go to get my hair done like this. I would drive this kind of car. Start putting the plan together and walk into it. The best part about it is our brains can't tell the difference between fiction and nonfiction. If you start changing some things, if you start waking up, putting on your suit coat, doing whatever, dressing to a T, driving your car, guess what? You might have a Kia. You might have a Ford. Clean it up. Shine it up. Do what you have to do. You go to a meeting, dress up. You might not be at six figures. They might not even notice you yet. But when you come in there, you smell good, you look good, your hair is done, your face is beat. They're going to start noticing. It's something different about her. You're just walking into your authentic six-figure self. So don't wait until you get there to start. Start today. Remember, you are the seed. Over here we have just some drinks that we wanted to share with whomever. It's a gentle detox tea. No, you won't be running to the bathroom. There's no laxatives, no cramping, no anything with them. We have a skinny water. It gives you an energy booster, appetite suppressor, and it assists if you're looking to lose weight. We also have a juice which has iris sea moss in it. It builds your immune system, and it also gives you an energy booster. With the detox tea, if you having mood swings, it helps with that. It takes away stress. It helps with bloating. It gets the toxins out. I had a friend, she had high blood pressure, was on several high blood pressure medications. She's off all of them. So this is just, when I started off, I told you, don't be reactive, be proactive. This is a way of being proactive. So you feel free. They're there. You can try them all out. And thank you so much for listening.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for coming, sharing. Erica, I want you to know that this is another black school owner. She on her own school. All right. So I have bought some of this, and I'm telling you, it works. I was drinking it like it's Kool-Aid. It's so good. So you guys go over there and get some. We're going to do a 30-minute break. We're going to come back. Miss Karen Lomax is going to do the tickets, and then we're going to close out here in prayer, correct? And then we're going to head over to the Club Church. 30 minutes. Come back, you guys.